How much would you spend on a horse? A few thousand? Maybe $100,000 if it's a champion? Well, some people spend millions, and we're not kidding. These horses aren't just fast. They're famous, fancy, and sometimes worth more than an actual mansion. Today we're counting down the top 10 most expensive horses in the world, from racehorses with perfect records to jumping legends, and even million-dollar moms. These animals are in a league of their own. Whether they're winning trophies or just producing future champions, every horse on this list has a price tag that'll make your jaw drop. Stick around till the end, because the number one horse? Let's just say, you could buy a yacht instead. Number 10, Meydan City. $11.7 million. Starting off our list is Meydan City, a beautiful dark bay thoroughbred who sold for an eye-popping $11.7 million in 2006. He was bought by Sheikh Mohammed of Dubai for his famous Godolphin racing team. So why so much money? Simple. This horse had an incredible bloodline. His father, King Mambo, was a top sire, and everyone thought Meydan City would become a star on the racetrack. He did win a big race, the UAE Derby, but never became a true racing legend. Still, with backing from royalty and sky-high expectations, his name became known around the horse world. Meydan City might not have taken over the track, but with that price tag, he definitely made history. Number 9, Totilas. $12.54 million. Next up is a horse who didn't race, but danced. Totilas, a black Dutch warm-blood stallion, became a worldwide dressage icon and sold for $12.54 million in 2010. That made him one of the most expensive non-racing horses ever sold. Totilas wowed audiences with his powerful and graceful moves, winning 3 gold medals at the 2010 World Equestrian Games. He was the first horse to score over 90% in a dressage competition, a record at the time. His performances went viral, and fans everywhere couldn't get enough, but after he was sold, some felt he never quite hit the same level again. Even so, Totilas changed the world of dressage forever, and showed that perfect footwork can be just as valuable as pure speed. Number 8, Seattle Dancer. $13.1 million. In 1985, the horse world stopped and stared when a young colt named Seattle Dancer sold for a record-breaking $13.1 million. At the time, it was the highest price ever paid for a yearling, and people couldn't stop talking about it. Why the hype? His bloodline was pure gold. His sire was Nijinsky II, and he was a close relative of Northern Dancer, and even Secretariat. With genes like that, big things were expected. Seattle Dancer went on to win some important races in Europe, like the Irish Derby, and had a decent run as a sire too. While he didn't turn out to be the greatest of all time, his sales showed just how much buyers are willing to pay for the promise of greatness, even before a horse runs a single race. Number 7, Better Than Honor. $14 million. At number 7, we've got a mare named Better Than Honor. And yes, she lived up to that name. In 2008, she was sold for $14 million, making her the most expensive broodmare ever at the time. And she wasn't even a racehorse anymore. She was pregnant. So why the huge price? Because she had already given birth to 2 Belmont Stakes winners, Giselle and Rags to Riches. That's like hitting the jackpot. Twice. Plus, she was pregnant with a foal by Galileo, one of the best stallions in history. In the world of horse breeding, that's about as good as it gets. Better Than Honor proved that sometimes it's not about what you do on the track, but what you pass on. Number 6, Palubay de Halong. $15.6 million. Flying into number 6 is Palubay de Halong, a show-jumping superstar who sold for a jaw-dropping $15.6 million in 2013. This Selle Francais gelding wasn't a racehorse, but he had springs in his legs. His jumps were smooth, stylish, and nearly flawless, winning hearts at top competitions across Europe. He was bought by Jan Tops, an Olympic gold medalist and one of the biggest names in show jumping. Palubet had already claimed major wins at the Grand Prix of Rome and La Coruna, proving he wasn't just flash, he was the real deal. This sale set a record for show jumping horses. And honestly, when you watch him glide over fences, you get it. He looked more like he was flying than jumping. Number 5, the Green Monkey. $16 million. At number 5, we have one of the most famous what could have been stories in horse racing history, the Green Monkey. This thoroughbred was sold for a jaw-dropping $16 million in 2006. Why? Because of his bloodline. He was a direct descendant of Northern Dancer and Secretariat, racing legends. Trainers and buyers were sure he'd be the next big thing, but after all the hype and all that money, the Green Monkey never won a single race. In fact, he earned just over $10,000 before retiring retiring early due to an injury. His story proves one thing: pedigree doesn't always guarantee success. Still, he'll forever be remembered, not for what he did on the track, but for his record-breaking price tag. Number 4, Annihilator. $19 million. Sliding into number 4 is Annihilator, a standard-bred racehorse who sold for $19 million in 1998, a massive amount for his breed. He gained attention not just for his speed, but for his unique dark chocolate-colored mane that made him stand out in every arena. Annihilator won the famous Meadowlands Pace, one of harness racing's biggest events, and looked like he was gonna dominate. But while his racing career was strong, his time as a breeding stallion didn't quite match up. His foals didn't live up to the hype, and that made his sale price look a little risky in hindsight. Still, in his prime, Annihilator was a crowd favorite, and proof that even in harness racing, big money is on the line. Number 3, Sharif Dancer. $40 million. At number 3 is Sharif Dancer, a thoroughbred who made headlines way back in 1983, when he was sold for an eye-popping $40 million. That was the most anyone had ever paid for a horse at the time, and adjusted for inflation, it would be over $100 million today. He was bought by Dubai royalty and quickly showed his worth, winning the Irish Derby and the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes. But what really made him valuable was his time as a sire. Sharif Dancer passed on his winning genes to champions like Bet Twice, who won the Belmont Stakes. His legacy? Proof that a smart investment in the right horse can pay off big, not just in trophies, but in the next generation too. Number 2, Fusachi Pegasus. $70 million. At number 2, we've got a horse with a name as fancy as his price tag, Fusachi Pegasus. This sleek and powerful thoroughbred won the 2000 Kentucky Derby and instantly became a star. Just months later, he was sold for a mind-blowing $70 million to Coolmore Stud. His name comes from his owner, Fusao Sekiguchi, and Pegasus, the flying horse from Greek mythology. And for a while, he lived up to that name, especially as a breeding stallion. He sired multiple top-level racehorses and remained in the spotlight long after he left the track. Fusachi Pegasus was more than just a champion. He was a brand, and in the world of horse racing, that kind of fame is worth every penny. Number 1, Justify. $75 million. Taking the crown at number 1 is none other than Justify, the only undefeated Triple Crown winner in history. In 2018, Justify won the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness Stakes, and the Belmont Stakes, all without ever losing a race. Total domination. He was originally bought for $500,000, but after his Triple Crown victory, his breeding rights were sold to Coolmore Stud for a massive $75 million. That deal included a $15 million bonus for the Triple Crown win. His foals are already in high demand, and his value just keeps growing. Justify didn't just race, he made history, and that's what makes him the most expensive horse ever sold. And there you have it, the top 10 most expensive horses in the world, from racecourse kings to dressage stars, and even million-dollar mares. Each of these horses tells a story of risk, reward, and the wild world of high-stakes horse trading. Some lived up to the price, others not so much, but all of them prove just how much people are willing to spend for a shot at greatness. Whether it's a winning streak, a champion bloodline, or just a dream. Which one would you want in your stable? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and so you never miss another crazy story from the world of the rich and famous, horses included. Until next time, stay curious, stay classy, and remember, never bet it all on a horse named Monkey.